She works at the mall like a teenager. My future mother-in-law Constance's voice dripped with disdain as she addressed the 16 guests at our engagement dinner, her diamond bracelet catching the candlelight as she gestured dismissively in my direction. My fiancé Ryan squeezed my hand under the table, his silent apology for his mother's behavior, while his father's colleagues and their wives nodded with varying degrees of sympathy and judgment. Then the doorman knocked, interrupting Constance mid-sentence about my limited prospects, and handed Ryan a package that had just arrived, the new issue of Forbes magazine, which Ryan had subscribed to for his business school classes. He opened it casually, probably expecting distraction from his mother's commentary, but when he saw the cover, his face went completely white. Because staring back at him, staring back at all of them, was my face under a headline that read, 40 under 40, Tech CEO disrupts billion-dollar industry. And I had about 3 seconds to decide whether I was ready for my carefully compartmentalized life to explode across his family's dining table. My name is Nina Okafor, and I'm about to explain how I became the founder and CEO of a billion-dollar tech company while my fiancé's family thought I worked retail at the mall. Let me rewind to where this spectacular deception took root. I met Ryan Whitmore 2 years ago at a charity 5K run. He was charming, genuine, running to support pediatric cancer research because his younger sister was a survivor. I was running because I'd been sitting in board meetings for 16 hours straight and needed to clear my head. We started talking at the finish line. He was a second-year MBA student at Northwestern. I told him I worked in tech. "Oh, cool. What company?" he asked. "A startup. You probably haven't heard of it." That was technically true. ShopSphere was only 3 years old, still operating in relative stealth mode while we perfected our technology. We weren't a household name yet. Ryan and I had easy chemistry. He was smart, kind, had no pretensions despite coming from serious money. His father was a partner at a major consulting firm. His mother came from old Chicago wealth. On our third date, he asked more about my work. "So, this tech startup, what do you do there?" "Product development, mostly. User experience design. Making sure everything works smoothly." Also technically true. As CEO, I oversaw all product development and obsessed over user experience. "That's cool. Do you like it?" "I love it. It's my whole life, honestly." He smiled. "I love that you're passionate about your work." What I didn't mention, I'd founded ShopSphere when I was 26. I'd developed the core technology, an AI-powered platform that revolutionized how small businesses managed inventory and e-commerce. I'd raised $50 million in series of funding. I had 200 employees and was on track to be profitable within 2 years. Why didn't I tell him? Honestly, it was refreshing to be Nina the person, not Nina the CEO. To date someone who liked me without the complication of my success, my money, my position. Ryan introduced me to his parents after 6 months. The dinner was at their Lake Forest estate, massive, intimidating, the kind of old money that makes new money feel inadequate. Constance Whitmore greeted me with their kisses and immediate assessment. "Nina. What an interesting name. Is it short for something?" "It's Nigerian. My parents immigrated from Lagos before I was born." "How exotic." Her smile didn't reach her eyes. "And what do you do, dear?" "I work in tech." "Oh, like computers?" "Ryan mentioned you work at some little startup. Is that stable?" "Tech companies fail so often." "We're doing well so far." She patted my hand. "Well, I'm sure it's fine for now. You're young." I was 31. I was running a company valued at $400 million. I said nothing. Over the next year, as Ryan and I got serious, I maintained the vague, "I work in tech" story. His family assumed I was some sort of junior employee, probably in a role they didn't understand and didn't care to. Then one day, Ryan casually mentioned, "Mom thinks you work at the Apple store." "At the mall?" I looked up from my laptop. I was reviewing Q3 revenue projections. "What?" "She saw you at Old Orchard Mall last month. You were wearing that navy shirt with the lanyard. She assumed you worked there." The navy shirt was my ShopSphere company shirt. I'd been at the mall meeting with a potential retail partner. My lanyard had my company ID. "Did you correct her?" I asked carefully. I tried. I said you work in tech. She said, yes, at the Apple Store, that's tech. I didn't know how to explain without. He trailed off. Without what? Without knowing more details about what you actually do. You don't really talk about work. He was right. I didn't. And I'd created this situation by being deliberately vague. Does it matter? I asked. What your mom thinks I do. No, Ryan said firmly. I love you. I don't care if you work at the Apple Store or if you're the CEO of Apple. You're brilliant and I'm lucky to have you. The irony wasn't lost on me. Ryan proposed 3 months later. Beautiful, romantic, on a beach in Michigan. I said yes because I loved him, because he was kind and genuine, because he saw me as Nina, not as my company or my net worth. But I knew I'd have to tell him eventually, especially as ShopSphere was about to go very, very public. We just closed our Series C funding, $300 million at a $1.2 billion valuation. Unicorn status. The tech press was starting to pay attention. Forbes had reached out about featuring me in their 40 Under 40 issue. I needed to tell Ryan. I needed to tell his family. But the engagement dinner happened first. Constance insisted on hosting a formal dinner to celebrate and introduce you to our closest friends. The dinner was last Saturday. 16 people in the Whitmore's formal dining room. A crystal, china, flowers that probably cost more than most people's monthly rent. I wore a simple black dress. Constance greeted me with a smile that was all teeth, no warmth. Nina. So lovely. You took time off from the mall? I don't work at, I started. Oh, I know, tech work. Very modern. She turned to her guests. Everyone, this is Nina, Ryan's fiancé. She's in retail. Tech retail. I caught Ryan's eye. He looked apologetic but didn't correct her. His father, Richard, was deep in conversation with a colleague and hadn't noticed. Dinner was excruciating. Constance held court, discussing her charity work, the family's legacy, Ryan's bright future taking over his father's consulting practice. Then she turned her attention to me. Nina, dear, have you thought about what you'll do after the wedding? Will you continue working at the mall? I don't work at the mall, I said clearly. The tech store, I mean. Apple, is it? No. Oh, Microsoft? Best Buy. I work for a tech company called ShopSphere. Never heard of it. She waved dismissively. Well, whatever it is, perhaps you'll consider something more suitable once you're Whitmore. We have connections at several proper companies. Proper companies, I repeated. Yes, dear. Established firms. Not these fly-by-night startups that are here today, gone tomorrow. I felt my temper rising, but Ryan's hand on my knee stopped me. Constance continued, addressing the table. She works at the mall like a teenager. Can you imagine? Ryan could marry anyone, lawyers, doctors, successful businesswomen, and he chooses a mall employee. The condescension was breathtaking. Several guests looked uncomfortable. Ryan's father finally tuned in, frowning. Constance, that's enough, Richard said. I'm just being realistic, Richard. Our son deserves someone on his level. The doorbell rang. Constance looked annoyed at the interruption. The doorman appeared. Excuse me, Mr. Whitmore. A package just arrived for Mr. Ryan. Marked urgent. Ryan stood, grateful for the distraction. He returned with a large envelope. It's my Forbes subscription. New issue. He opened it casually, probably looking for an article for his international business class. Then he went completely still. Oh my God, he whispered. What is it? Constance asked impatiently. Ryan turned the magazine around. The cover showed my face, professional photo from our Series C announcement, with the headline, 40 Under 40, The Young Innovators Reshaping Business. Nina Okafor, Tech CEO Disrupts Billion-Dollar Industry. The silence was absolute. Ryan was staring at the magazine, then at me, then back at the magazine. Nina? You're on the cover of Forbes? Yes. You're a CEO? Yes. He flipped to the article. I could see him scanning it, his eyes getting wider. It says here you founded ShopSphere. That you're the founder and CEO. That's correct. It says the company is valued at $1.2 billion. that you raised $300 million in Series C funding, that you have 200 employees. Yes. It says you're one of the most successful young tech entrepreneurs in the country, that your AI platform is revolutionizing small business e-commerce. That's accurate. Constance grabbed the magazine. She read the article, her face cycling through shock, disbelief, and something that might have been horror. This can't be right, she said. You work at the mall?
No, Constance.
You assumed I worked at the mall because you saw me there in a company shirt. I was meeting with a retail partner. ShopSphere provides e-commerce solutions for small and medium businesses. I was at the mall visiting one of our clients. Ryan was still processing. You founded a billion-dollar company?
Yes.
3.5 years ago. We started in my apartment with 2 co-founders. Now we have offices in Chicago, New York, and San Francisco. Why didn't you tell me? Because when we met, you liked me. Just me. Not my company, not my success, not my money. You treated me like a person, not a CEO. It was refreshing. But we've been together for 2 years. We're engaged. I know. I should have told you. I was going to tell you. This article forced my hand. Richard had taken the magazine and was reading carefully. This is extraordinary. Nina, you're the founder of ShopSphere? We just recommended them to one of our clients. Your platform is incredibly sophisticated. Thank you. You should have told us, Constance said, but her voice had lost its edge. She looked embarrassed, which for someone like Constance might have been worse than anger. Ryan stood abruptly. Can we talk? Privately? We went to the library. Ryan closed the door and turned to face me. $1 billion company, Nina. $1 billion. You're on the cover of Forbes, and you never thought to mention it. I tried to tell you several times. But then your mom made her assumptions and you didn't correct her, and it got complicated. Complicated? My mother thought, you worked retail. She's been condescending to you for months. I know. And you just let her? Yes. Why? I sat down on the leather couch. Because I wanted you to love me for me, not for my company. Not because I'm successful. Just because I'm Nina. I do love you for you. But Nina, you're not just Nina who works in tech. You're Nina who built something incredible. Who created technology that's changing how businesses operate. Who leads 200 people. That's part of who you are. I know. He sat next to me. Were you ever going to tell me?
Yes.
The Series C announcement is going public next week. There's going to be press coverage, interviews. I couldn't hide it much longer. How much longer were you planning to wait? Until after the engagement dinner. I didn't want to deal with your mother's reaction on top of everything else. He laughed, a slightly hysterical sound. Well, we're dealing with it now. We sat in silence for a moment. I'm sorry, I said finally. I should have been honest from the beginning. I've had people change how they treat me when they find out about the company. Some get intimidated. Some get opportunistic. Some can't see past it. You just saw me. It was nice. I still just see you, Ryan said quietly. But now I see all of you. And I'm in awe, Nina. $1 billion company. That's incredible. Are you upset? Upset?
No. Confused, yes.
Impressed, absolutely. A little intimidated, maybe. My mother will be horrified that she treated you like that. Good, I said, and he laughed. We went back to the dining room. Everyone was reading the Forbes article on their phones. Constance looked like she wanted to disappear. Nina, Richard said, standing. I owe you an apology. We all do. We made assumptions. Very wrong assumptions. Thank you. Constance approached hesitantly.
I don't know what to say.
I've been incredibly rude. I thought you were some mall employee with no prospects, and you're actually… She gestured at the magazine. A mall employee with no prospects. I finished. I heard you. She flinched. I'm sorry. That was unconscionable. Yes, it was. Will you forgive me? I considered it. Eventually. But Constance, you need to understand something. Your son fell in love with me when you thought I was nobody. That says something about him. And the fact that you treated me with contempt when you thought I was just a retail worker says something about you. She nodded, tears in her eyes. You're right. I'm ashamed. One of the dinner guests, a woman I'd been introduced to as someone's wife, spoke up. I work in retail. I manage a boutique. Does that make me unworthy of respect? Constance looked stricken. No, of course not. I didn't mean. You did mean it, the woman said firmly. You meant that retail work is beneath your family. That anyone who works those jobs is less than. Nina Okafor's success doesn't change the fact that you look down on people you consider beneath you. The room was silent. Constance had no defense. Ryan stood. I think this dinner is over. Nina and I are leaving. We drove back to the city in silence. Finally, Ryan said, So, billion-dollar company. That's a big deal. It is. Are you secretly rich? I'm actually rich, yes. I own 40% of the company. On paper, I'm worth about $480 million. He nearly drove off the road. $480 million? Give or take. It fluctuates based on valuation.
Nina.
That's insane. It's mostly paper wealth. If we go public or get acquired, it becomes real money. For now, it's just numbers. He pulled over, put the car in park, and looked at me. I need to process this. You're a half-billionaire CEO who let my mother think you worked at the Apple Store. When you say it like that, it sounds ridiculous. It is ridiculous. But he was laughing. This is the most ridiculous thing ever. Are we okay? I asked. Are we okay? Nina, I'm engaged to someone who's more successful than I'll probably ever be. Someone who built something incredible. Someone who's on the cover of Forbes. Yeah, we're okay. Better than okay. He kissed me. But no more secrets. Deal?
Deal.
And you have to tell my mom what ShopSphere actually does. In excruciating detail. Make her understand exactly how wrong she was. That I can do. 2 months have passed since the Forbes cover. The fallout has been interesting. Constance has been on an apology tour, sending flowers weekly, inviting me to lunch to get to know the real you. I've declined most invitations, but accepted a few. She's trying. Richard, Ryan's father, has become my biggest advocate. His consulting firm now recommends ShopSphere to all their small business clients. He tells everyone about his brilliant future daughter-in-law. Ryan's friends think it's hilarious. His business school classmates keep asking him for jobs at my company. The wedding is in 6 months. It'll be interesting planning a wedding when the bride is a Forbes-featured CEO worth $500 million and the groom's family thought she worked retail. My company continues growing. We're on track to hit $100 million in revenue this year. We're considering an IPO in 18 months. And yes, I still wear my company's shirt with the lanyard. I still meet with retail partners at malls. Because that's what CEOs do. They work. My name is Nina Okafor. I'm 32 years old. I'm the founder and CEO of a billion-dollar tech company. And I learned something valuable. People reveal who they are by how they treat people they think are powerless. Constance treated me with contempt when she thought I was just a mall employee. That told me everything I needed to know about her values. Ryan loved me when he thought I was a startup employee making modest money. That told me everything I needed to know about his character. The Forbes cover didn't change who I am. It just revealed who everyone else is. And sometimes, that's the most valuable information you can get.